Your Excellencies, for being here, for Mr. Mohammed Al-Zawi for organizing this, and for Your Excellencies to be here. This is the preparation for the opening, the launch of the Center for Arab West Understanding on the 7th of May, with not only Professor Van Acht, former Dutch Prime Minister, but also Dr. Mamdouh El-Beltagi has agreed to be part of this. Dr. Ahmed Goueli has agreed to be part of that. And we hope, Your Excellencies, that you all will be part of this event on the 7th of May and that you all will be there as well. So first of all, an invitation to be there. Then I would like to turn to Ambassador De Zwaan. Not because you're Dutch, because you have made a statement on the word understanding, that this is an important starting point. And this is then therefore also part of our name, the Center for Arab West Understanding. The word understanding is crucial to what we are trying to do and trying to set up. Understanding one another, not necessarily agreeing with one another, there may be lots of differences, but understanding. And then I would like to thank His Excellency Mr. Ahmed Meher, because the words, how you have formulated it, this could have been one of the founders of the Center for Arab West Understanding, precisely the way how we would have liked to formulate this. So I would like to thank you very much for presenting this the way you have done this. One of the main problems that we have discovered tonight in intercultural understanding is language. Should this be in English? Should this be in Arabic translations? I think this is a major issue in Western countries, because if you go to Egypt, you have plenty Egyptians who have been traveling abroad, have been studying different languages. But if you go to Europeans, people in the West, the knowledge of Arabic is much less. And I have to confess that I'm one of them, so I'm apologizing for my lack of Arabic here. Language, therefore, is very important. Because of the lack of understanding of the Arabic language, all kinds of practical problems spring up. You have people picking up bits and pieces from what is happening in the Arab world, but not really grasping what is going on. We have discovered this, Dr. Hassan and I, during our trip to Germany. I have to mention that in October 2004, I was invited by the German organization Missio to travel to Germany to speak about Arab West Muslim-Christian relations. And I told them, well, but how? I am a Wageih, so how should I do this alone? So I am very grateful for the Minister of Awaf, Dr. Hamdi Zakzouk, for introducing, for advising Dr. Hassan Wageih to go with me to Germany on this lecture tour. And there we have understood that language, again, is very important. Things get reported in German media, but not only German media, you have this also in other European media, and often written by journalists who have no real background of Arabic language, Arabic culture, misinterpreting issues. So it's frequently you see problems with this. Articles were presented to us and we were asked questions about this. You have a problem with insufficiently checked facts, misinterpretations, or believing certain sources to be credible, while every Egyptian would tell you, well, but this can't be true. So you have problems with this. Sometimes, I have to admit, I was just wondering whether I was really living in Egypt when I saw the articles published abroad, seeing stories that were so totally alien to what I have experienced here in Egypt. So I think there are a number of major factors creating distortions, and we have to address those. And that's what we try to do as the Center for Arab West Understanding. One of those is the lack of Arabic language in the West. But another one is the selectivity in taking material from Arab media, not giving a full range of opinions, but focusing on angry or radical statements and incidents, and rarely placing such events in their contexts. So lack of context is a major issue. If you have an incident reported in Egypt, you know, of course, the context and you know the background of this. But when this gets to a European public that doesn't know that context, you get great distortions. That is partly related, not only, it is lack of knowledge of Arabic, but it's also partly related to political activists that you do have in different Western countries. And it's good that they are there, but if you hear only the voice of political activists and they are dominant, then you get, again, a distortion. Lack of background knowledge, social and cultural factors. When we have done reporting, you see that happening a lot. And that when you have insufficient knowledge of those cultural factors, that is creating misinterpretations reflected in different Western media, with the consequences that you get those misunderstandings. And that is the reason why we have decided to start the Center for Arab West Understanding. Now, a little bit of history. Several of the board members of the Center for Arab West Understanding, founders of the Center for Arab West Understanding, are here. It did not start as an organization. It started as the initiative of a group of private people seeing these misreportings. Here in front, first row, Mr. Mustafa Abaza, one of them, but there are Sharif Esmed Abdelmajid, I've seen several. And I'm sorry for not mentioning all, but we have seen this, a group of private individuals and getting together and say, well, we need to do something about it, starting with translations. But not only translations, it goes further. I was this afternoon in a discussion at the American University about journalism, about film and misrepresentations in different films that we have seen and discussed today. It needs media critique. You have in the United States, now I take this from the discussion this afternoon in the AUC, you have different watchdogs, media watchdogs in the United States looking at how reporting is done. You have a liberal media watchdog looking at what conservatives are doing, and you have a conservative watchdog to see what liberal media or media that are perceived to be liberal are doing. And they report, they comment, they critique. Well, I think what we desperately need is a media watch system to look at both Arab media reporting about the West and Western media reporting about the Arab world. In the work that we have done thus far as a group of private individuals, again, that is now developed into an NGO, an Egyptian NGO, is criticizing a number of very explicit examples of media distortion. The most recent one was from a weekly in the Netherlands, claiming that all Muslims are anti-Semite, very extreme, very radical, and we have been asked to respond. It is good that those questions are coming and that we get the opportunity to respond, because that's definitely a distortion. Providing background reports. What we need to do is provide background reports for journalists to help them to report better. So it's translations of particularly opinion articles from Arab media. It is providing background reports, because it is this lack of context that is creating these distortions, this misinformation. And here I have to say that I would wish there would be more people like Dr. Hassan, Wageih, who are there to help a Western public understand this, to explain issues that are very common here for an Egyptian public, but not for a Western public. So we need scholars like you. We also want this to be developed into a forum. There can be many different opinions, and it's fine to have different opinions, as long as this is done out of respect for different opinions. And that is, in my opinion, goes further than only tolerance. It is really respecting different opinions, regardless what they are, because this is the way to really exchange thoughts and to argue. We have started. We have made thus far some 10,000 translations, some news reports from Arab media. There's an electronic library under establishment to make easy search possible, so that whatever subject you are looking for in the West, you will be able to find it and find Egyptian opinions. In future, the idea is to do the same thing in Arabic, so there are different stages involved. And in that way, we really hope to build a center that can function as a forum for understanding, for different opinions from the West, from the Arab world, and to provide information, provide context, provide background that will help journalists to do better reporting. When I would like to give that quote, when Eldad Mulder, a senior editor, knowing Arabic well, having lived for many years in Egypt and other Arab countries, when he saw this work, then he wrote that this electronic documentation center will soon become an absolute necessary tool for every serious reporter, and as well other people concerned with the Middle East, like students, scholars, politicians and businessmen. Mulder is sure that if this project is enlarged in such a way that other Arab countries and subjects are covered, which is not the case at this moment, I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but we are at this moment Egypt biased, but I hope that in future also it will include media from other Arab countries, but that once other also Arab countries and subjects are covered, it will very soon become apparent which media use this electronic library and which media do not. The difference in quality will become very visible. In that way, we can make a change. It is possible to do something tangible, something very concrete. These were my last words, Dr. Hassan. Please, there were forms where you can sign up, and we can send you information by email about the work that we're doing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Cornelius Holzman. يمكن سريعا جدا عشان الوقت يفضل للأسئلة، لأن في مجموعة كبيرة من الأسئلة. دكتور هولسمان تحدث طبعا عن مشاكل اللغة يعني مشكلة إنشاء كلمة مركز للتفاهم العربي الغربي. كلمة understanding دي مهمة جدا. هو بيقول دي احنا اللي محتاجينها، لأن احنا مش محتاجين في الاندرستاندينج الناس توافق مع بعضها، ممكن تختلف مع بعضها، بس ازاي كيف تدير الاختلاف من خلال محاولة للفهم كل واحد للتاني. ده كلام جميل. بيتكلم على ان المشاكل متعددة في هذا الموضوع بين العالم الغربي والعالم العربي الإسلامي، واتكلم على مشاكل اللغة. فعلا مشاكل اللغة مشاكل رهيبة جدا، لأن اللغة بترتبط بالفكر، والاثنين بيعملوا بوتقة صعبة، ما كانش فيه متخصصين يتعاملوا معاها، بتبقى فيه مشكلة. فهو عايز يعني بيقول بيلاقي ما فيش مشاكل في التعامل مع المصريين، بيتكلموا لغات كتير، انما الاوروبيين ما بيعرفوش عربي، ولذلك بيتنقل لهم اي شيء عن الواقع العربي بشكل مشوه جدا، بشكل مساء اليه. ولذلك مهمه السنتر ومهمه الجهد اللي بيقوم بيه الدكتور كورنيليوس هولسمان ان هو يعني يبعد هذا التشويه اللاحق من عدم القدره وعدم الفهم الحقيقي والنقص في السياق ونقص في المعرفه بالثقافه ونقص بالترجمة الدقيقة ونقل الأحداث بالشكل الدقيق. الأحداث تبتصر وتقدم بشكل يثير غضب الآخرين فيما يتعلق بالعالم العربي الإسلامي. وذكر أن احنا طلعنا في رحلة مع بعض إلى ألمانيا عندما اقترح الدكتور زقزوق اسمي ان احنا نعمل جولة في ألمانيا، وكانت جولة ناجحة جدا. وفعلا لقينا مشكلة اللغة دي مشكلة عويصة، يمكن ما فيش وقت عشان نحافظ على الوقت بتاع الندوه ديت، انما كان طبعا مشاكل معاني ترجمه القران الكريم، مشاكل حاجات كتيره شفناها تتعلق بالثقافه واللغه. وهو بيقول ان السنتر المزمع انشاؤه ونتمنى له التوفيق فيه ان شاء الله جميعا، هو منوط به مهمه عبور الفجوات الثقافيه، ومنوط به كمان عمليه التقرير الاعلامي الخاطئ وتقويم هذا التقرير الاعلامي المشوه والذي نعاني منه في كل من العالم العربي الإسلامي، وخاصة فيما يأتي من العالم العربي الإسلامي للغربيين. ولذلك هو